back at Hop Smell Show is hop.
Very love.
Straight. We didn't do that on the last one.
We did,
Yeah, no, we
but
did.
that's because that song was so freaking awesome.
Yeah, we was just so
Little
amped up about it.
bird.
All right, so we discussed last week that our last recording session that we hadn't done these for a while, and we
It'd
sat
be fun to
down
do it.
and we decided an album that all of us would agree on, and I think we picked a pretty good one.
This was, yeah, all in all, this was a good, solid, strong album.
Yeah. And as we're doing Orgy of the Damned by none other than Slash. It's his blues album.
Which we did the song with Brian Johnson,
Yep.
Killing
Yeah.
For. So that was our first taste of it.
That was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed that song.
I mean, I actually, and when we went back and reviewed the album, I actually looked forward to it coming up. So I was like, when's it coming? When's it coming? And then when it was there,
But you had to sit through the really awesome song.
yeah, the awesome song. Well, love it was awesome.
I liked it.
But
But we'll get that. Yeah, we'll get to that when we get to that.
we'll just do, and we wanted to do something that we hadn't, none of us knew anything about, other than that song that we did
Yeah,
a review.
The Killing Floor.
It was released May 17th, 2024. And it was produced by Mike Klink. So it's, and like I said before, it's Orgy of the Damned. And we're gonna, should we even talk about what we decided to do?
Yeah, I guess we could just do a brief. Basically, we're going to give it a number out of 5. We'll score it 0 to 5. We'll talk a little bit about each song, but we're not going to go too in depth.
Try to keep this at like
keep the
15
video-
minutes, you know,
well,
not
it's
too
probably
long.
not going to be 15 minutes. But we'll do our best to keep it as short as we can. But that's
hope we can-
basically what we're going to do. But
And hope we can push enough that y'all go out and sample the album,
Yeah.
because
I've
it's
actually-
definitely worth sampling.
I talked to Jamie at work. I asked him if he'd heard it, and he was like, "No." And I said, "You ought to go check it out because he likes a lot of blues. He likes Stevie
Yeah.
Ray Vaughan and that kind of stuff." So I figured he'd probably enjoy it. So I just told him to go check it out. And somebody else, I've talked to a couple people and told them to go check it out. It's a good, solid album.
And you said pushing it, and that's the first song was The Pusher.
Well, and it was like when I was telling Love coming over here, I've decided I'm trying to get back to a way I used to sample albums, where I give an album a chance. You know, I gave this one this problem got a lot of listens. I'd say at least 5 all the way through.
I know I listened to at least 3, a couple songs 4 times. And then a couple of them I actually went back and listened to the original version just because I wanted to see like comparison wise. But I wanted to listen to more of them, but I didn't get a chance to.
Yeah, I think I listened up. I was barbecuing the first time, and I got like halfway through, and my phone battery died. So then the next time I listened to it, I did the whole bourbon bubble bath, pizza, and just laid in the tub and listened to it all, and dug it, and then listened to it again right afterwards. So I listened to it like back to back after I got out of the tub and sat back down and listened to it again through, and that's when I wrote my messages. So by that time my handwriting.
And that's something I feel like, to tell you how good this album is, I think, because there's 3 of us that are like completely different, and we all do.
We all kind of share similar tastes in music, but we're still
Right.
across the board
Yeah.
in different ways. But so yeah, for us to check them all out, and I mean,
Gave it a fair shake.
because your whole Chinese democracy,
Yeah.
you went in depth on that one.
Yeah, I did.
So-
Yeah, way more than we did.
But we're not gonna get that far into it
Yeah.
on this one. But
So we might as
So-
well start it.
Do you want to do we'll go ahead and do, what do you think, 3
You just-
tracks, first 3 tracks?
I was gonna say, you just say the first one, what you
yeah,
thought
let's
of
just go
it.
do through
I'll
it.
say it,
and
he'll say it,
yeah,
and then we'll go to the next
what
one.
our number was out of 5, and then
Or a short
and then
comment
we'll
on
just
it.
kind of briefly.
All right, so opening the album is The Pusher, which I rated at number 3, featuring Chris Robinson. Everybody knows Chris Robinson from Black Crowes. I discussed it with String.
Well, let him talk, and then we'll discuss the song. What we
All
thought
right.
about it.
And I gave The Pusher a 3.
3 out of 5. All right.
And I gave it a 3 also. And I still like Blind Melon's version a little better. But, and the goddams are too many, but you know, goddamn, that's what it is in the song.
Yeah.
So
Well, I gave it a 3 out of 5 as well, so I think he was all pretty much.
all across the board on it.
And I
Yeah.
agree with what he said.
Yeah, it was very, very repetitive.
But that's the way the song is.
Yeah, I get
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
I get it, but I think Chris did a good job singing
Yeah.
it. There's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
the song. I just think, in general,
Yeah.
you and I talked about that at work.
The song, yeah, the song in general, it's not nothing.
Because that song runs at like, what, 7 minutes or 6 minutes? It's a pretty long
It's a
song.
long song.
Yeah, it's 7 minutes,
Yeah,
7
like if you
seconds.
took a lot of those goddams out of there and the pushers out of there, that it would have definitely.
See, and I didn't go with the original because the only version I remember was
Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf. You know, but yeah, I guess we all agreed on the 3 then for the pusher. And I guess we all agreed with, you know, how we felt about, you know, the goddams and it was a little bit too repetitive.
Yeah.
But I've always thought that.
That
about
song
the
is that way.
All right, so number 2, I rated this one high. I gave it a 5. Crossroads featuring Gary Clark Jr. And I'm not gonna lie, first time I seen Gary Clark Jr., I seen him on. It was an induction for somebody on Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And he just blew me away. I'm
Yeah,
like,
man, he's
where
always in the
in
jam bands.
Where in the hell did this guy come from?
Yeah, he's dope, man.
But you know, I got right down here. It's a great version of the song.
I gave it a 3. Excuse me. I gave it a 3. This is what you said. Gary Clark, cool guy, man. Just, you know, and Crossroads is a classic song, you know. So I dug it.
I mean, I gave it a 4 out of 5. I thought he did a good job on it. It's classic, so obviously it's a classic song. And I thought he did a damn fine job on it.
Yeah, and it was said that they both played lead, and everything else it said that Slash played all the lead. So I don't know if they swapped off some lead stuff in the song.
Yeah, they could have, or maybe
Which-
dueling type of thing. Or
Yeah.
something.
But it's like I said, Gary Clark Jr., he smokes. If you haven't checked him out, go check him out because he's pretty good. All right, so track number 3, I gave a 4. Hoochie Coochie Man featuring Billy Gibbons. And everybody knows Billy Gibbons, ZZ Top. I'm going ZZ Top. I love ZZ Top.
And I gave it a 3. And for some reason, I wrote Gypsy Woman. I don't know why. The ZZ Top with Billy and then something like Gypsy Woman. It must have been, I don't know, a line or
Was that
something.
when you were drinking the bourbon?
Yeah, so, you know, this was the
Bathtub
third time
with
around.
the
Yeah. No, this was already after out of the bathtub. But again, I gave it a 3. You're going to notice a theme with mine.
That's a lot of 3s, isn't it?
Well, it's a lot of 3s.
Well, I gave it a 4 out of 5. I thought I liked the song, and I think Billy's voice, and he actually played on it too. I think just his playing style and his singing style fit the song. And was playing with Slash, you know, obviously it's
Yeah, it was a good fit.
All right, so we'll go with track 4, which is Oh Well by Chris Stapleton. Well, featuring Chris Stapleton. And I was telling String, I've always thought it's a good song. Kenny Wayne Shepherd was the first time I'd ever heard it. And I thought Kenny Wayne just ripped it up. I don't like this version as well as Kenny Wayne's version, but I still gave it a 4 because it is a good version. It's just not Kenny Wayne Shepherd good.
I gave it a 3, and you know, it's a Fleetwood Mac song. So that was, you know, that's where it comes from. And yeah, I dug it. I don't have a bad thing to say about Chris Stapleton. I like some of his work. I like some of his songs.
He's got a pretty unique voice.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like he's kind of got that little bit of raspiness to it, and kind of fits well with his music
think
that he
he's-
plays.
And I think this is when I was first time I was listening to this. This is when I was grilling is when it died on me. But it might have been the next song. It was somewhere within this range. Just when I was grilling the first time I listened to this album.
Well, I gave it a 3 out of 5 as well. Nothing wrong with the song. I thought his gritty vocals, like I said, it fit the type of song that it was, and damn fine job on it.
All right, so we go with, it's like track 5 is Key to the Highway, featuring Dorothy. I gave that a 3. I don't have anything wrote down. It was a decent song. And if being I have nothing wrote down, I didn't think
And you know,
Wasn't too
that's
exciting.
goddamn hop, that's crazy, because I wrote Key to Highway, Dorothy. I didn't really leave anything, and a 3.
A 3. Well, let's keep
But it
on the
was
theme of
like-
things. I gave it a 3 out of 5 as well.
You were a little bit
I did
more.
write some stuff on mine. I just basically said I dug the track, and I think she did a good job on the
Yeah.
vocals. I kind of got into her last year. I think it was when her album. I think it was last year her album came out. It's a damn good album. I'd heard a track on XM, and then it's like, I'm gonna go check that out. And that's why I bought it. And it was good. So I like her vocals.
I do too, but guess being I didn't write nothing, it didn't.
Wasn't anything that stood
Yeah,
out.
I didn't hate it,
Yeah.
but I didn't love it.
Yeah.
It was just kind of, there.
It was a 3 out of 5.
So this one, I'm kind of curious how
We got a
everybody else
text in
felt.
the middle of the night when I'm already asleep for this one,
Yeah.
so.
So
I think it was the middle of the night.
No, it wasn't. It was during the day.
Okay, that text was there. Sometimes I know there's some in the middle of the night we get in the group.
track 6,
This one's
Awful
still being
Dream featuring Iggy Pop. 1.
Oh, wow.
The title pretty much says how I feel about the song. Awful,
Wow,
awful,
you rated it a
awful.
lot higher than I did.
Wow.
So, and I even listened to, we got talking about, there's some sounds that go on somewhere, and I'm thinking it
Towards
might
the
be
end of it.
it might be a harmonica.
It's
I'm,
what he's supposed to be doing.
I'm not for sure
That's
what's
what he
going
is
on there.
supposed to be doing. He's just doing it with his vocals
So-
instead of with the harmonica.
I went with Awful Dreams, Iggy. I didn't know it was Iggy because it came on and started playing, and I was like, well, and I reached over to my phone and I looked and I was like, oh shit, it's Iggy. And I wrote the vocals. I thought was awesome, but when you texted about cats,
Sounds like
this is what I wrote: street cats making love in the seat.
that's what it sounds like.
Which is a line from the Grateful Dead's "Looks Like Rain," but there was definitely that stray cat
So what was your
making
number on that
love.
one?
I got a 3 on it. I gave it a 3.
Y'all are still too kind.
Oh,
I gave it a
was.
0.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
damn,
fine.
I was.
Y'all some Iggy
The-
haters, man.
I,
was
you know,
kinda
when
near
I'll say this: when I listened to the album the first time, I went to the Judas Priest show and I was playing it, and the wife and I were talking, so I really didn't get to hear it a lot. So when I was mowing one day, I had it playing, so I didn't pull my phone out, look who each person was. When I heard it, I just thought it sucked. And I was like, God, this song is just horrible. And then the cat, whatever you want to make it love or whatever you want to call it, I was like, please tell me that he is not doing that with his vocals. Like this is ridiculous. And then I read a whole article on the song and what they were doing, and I'm like, oh my God, like he was trying to do that harmonica thing, which I went and listened to the original, the actual original, and there's no harmonica in that one.
No.
It's just all acoustic guitar.
Well, when I listened to it yesterday, because I went through and listened to it one last time before we did this, and I heard that, and I'm like, I think that's a harmonica. Because I was mowing, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that he's playing a harmonica there.
Yeah,
so.
that's what he was trying for anyway. But it said, yeah, instead of doing it with the harmonica, he did it with just his voice.
All right, next one.
All right, so we're going with track 7 is Born Under a Bad Sign, which this might got a little bit higher rating. I gave it a 4, but it's Paul Rodgers. I mean, Paul Rodgers, like I said, he's got the ultimate rock voice. I mean, a lot of people will tell you.
Yeah, Jim Morrison loved him, man.
A lot
And
of people
Skinner,
tell
too.
you, yeah, Paul Rodgers. That's the reason why I gave it such a strong 4, because the song was, it is what it is, but it was Paul Rodgers.
And I went, it's a straightforward version of it, and I gave it a 3.
Well, I gave it a 3. I like the song, but I feel like Paul Rodgers could have done better in vocals. I didn't like his singing on that song very much. It was a good song though. I think they did a good job on it, but I just didn't care for his singing parts on it. But I don't see, maybe it's just because he's older now and maybe he's not as strong or something. I don't know, but I just didn't care for whatever reason. I just didn't like it. But I probably would have been a 4 if I dug his vocals a little bit more. But it is what it is. And still enjoyed the song, so it was a 3 for me.
Next one.
All right, so me and Love talked about this on the way over. I gave this 5. Papa Was Rolling Stone, featuring Demi Lovato, which Stringer told me was
She.
she played.
Oh, the
Nina
guitar with
Nina
you.
Strauss went and played guitar for her.
Yeah, she
And I-
toured with her there for like an album or whatever that tour was, I think.
But I gave it a 5. It's a fucking awesome song. Might be one of the best songs on the album.
And I wrote it was my favorite. I gave it a 4. And I mean, nothing got top 5.
I was gonna say you gave that one a 4.
I gave that one a 4
Yeah,
so
that's your
far. That's
favorite
been
track.
that's been my favorite track so far.
Well, she gave it a 5.
Well, I mean, it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm gonna run out and get, So,
Yeah.
but what this is mine. I listened to it. I've listened to it multiple times, and I've always loved this song. From the Temptation days. So yeah, and that was all I'd say.
I'm like Hop said, it's probably even you said it's probably one of the best songs on the album, I think. I did only give it a 4 out of 5, but it is a very strong song, and I really dug her vocals on that. I think she put a lot of soul sound to it. She kept it kind of along that Temptations kind of sound with it, but I think she did a damn good job on that song. I don't know a lot of her stuff.
I don't know.
Period. I don't think I've ever heard a song of her, so I
I
didn't know
listened to a
anything.
couple. It's just
It's more kind of poppy stuff, but this song here, hearing that first, out of anything I've ever heard of her, yeah, that's
Well, I'm
solid.
like you. It's that song. She sang. Her vocals were good enough on that song to make me wanna. I would go and listen to more of her stuff. I would give her stuff a shot versus before I wouldn't even. Now I'm just kind of curious.
Yeah, I listened to some. By the time I was pretty drunk, so I was laughing. I was gonna have a whole spew, but then I didn't do it. So, of her songs.
All right, so track number 9, which we've already done.
Yeah.
But I told them when I listened to this album, I was looking forward to this song because I knew it was really good. And especially after knowing that Steven Tyler played harmonica on it, on top of Brian Johnson. I mean, gosh, when you get Slash, Brian Johnson, and Steven Tyler in the same room, I mean,
Yeah,
that's legacy there.
I'm just an all-star crew.
And it got number 5 for me.
And I
Great
gave it a
song.
3, and I told you, man, I was pretty straightforward about this whole album, and I'll give my review at the end, like what my thoughts are. But yeah, I liked it. I liked it when we did it. I liked the video, like I said, with Steven Tyler, an all-star crew. Just
Well, I gave it a 5 out of 5. I just think Brian's vocals on it really fit the song. It was upbeat, just overall cool track. I just enjoyed it. I mean, I know we had talked about it when we did the reaction for it and how good we all thought it was. So nothing changed for me listening to it 3 or 4 more times. So it still kicked ass. So,
All right, so let's go to track number 10, Living for the City, which I was wondering what I had wrote down here, but it's featuring Tash Neal, which is famous for London Souls. I guess is the band he was in, which I didn't really help me
and
none.
that's
But,
who's also did the song originally too. We live in Paul's that time.
but I got to as the number 4, so yeah, I dug it pretty good. It's pretty decent.
That's a really cool version. I gave it a 3, spot on. I liked it.
well, I gave it a 3. I probably would have gave it a 2, but I did bump it up. I thought it was well done, but I didn't care for the song. The song in general to me, I just didn't care for
Do you
it.
remember the original?
No. That's probably one of those ones I should have went and listened to the original,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think that's the dude who originally done it, is the guy that's actually, that's why it's
What
pretty
the-
much spot on. So,
Ash Neal.
yeah.
All right, so track number 11, which on my paper looks like it started out as a 4 and it became a 5. It's like I more listened to it, the more I liked it. And it's like when I think of blues, this is the kind of stuff I think of. And I don't know, really didn't know much about Beth Hart, but I feel like she nailed it. And she even said so at the end of the song that she crushed it. So
Yeah,
I
that
thought-
song it had like it was still being recorded after she was
Yeah.
done.
And you gave it what?
I gave it a 5, and I also got the solo. The solo is incredible, but it's like the solos for Slash really shined on this album.
Oh,
Yeah, and I gave it a 4, and what did I say? At the end with the, you were saying about you like it. I think it was kind of a little, maybe prompted or staged when she's cussing there at the very end of it. I think they could have just cut that off.
yeah, they could have, but I think they liked whatever. But
Yeah, but you know, I gave it a 4. So you know, you saw the whole way down. I've been in 3s. The 2 I've liked were, you know.
well, I gave it a 5 out of 5. I knew nothing about this Beth Hart girl,
Yeah,
and her voice on that song gave me chills. Like she kicked
Oh, it's
ass.
badass. It was
She's
Yeah,
got some
she
pipes.
kicked ass on that song. And the solo, there was more than one solo, and it was badass too. I ended up going and checking out some of her stuff after I heard that song, and I was like, that she's got some pipes on her. She's pretty kick ass. I let my wife listen to it, and she's not a big fan of female vocalists anyway, but she was like, yeah, okay with that.
I was hoping that you were like, and she actually like.
No, she didn't, but I didn't expect her to
To
like
care
it.
for
But
it,
yeah,
right.
but I kind of assumed that she wasn't gonna like it anyway. But yeah, that girl, she gave me chills like when I was listening to it. Like,
So you know, we all 3 dug that one.
yeah,
yeah. Danny Kreider always raves. He talks about her all the time too. So I knew that was really the only thing I knew going into it was I knew Danny was like, gosh, she's like the greatest thing since sliced bread. And he was probably right because that girl could sing. All right, so last track, and I gave it a 4. I thought it was just a jam with Slash, but I thought it was, at first I didn't know what we was getting into, but then when all the instruments kicked in, like this is good. I like it. So I I gave it a 4. I thought it was good. It was a good ender to the album.
I gave it a 3. And I wrote good closer. It's a pretty melody and just Slash being Slash. You know, just picking and jamming.
I gave it a 5 out of 5. I thought it was a good closure as well. Maybe not quite as bluesy as some of the other stuff on there. At least parts of it weren't. But all in all, I think it fit, and it was a good closure. So I enjoyed that one pretty good. I mean, it was kind of, he had a little bit more elements of metal, heavier stuff in it, and then they kind of got some bluesy parts in it, but definitely had some more heavier influence to it. But
You really heard him on that song.
yeah, exactly.
So your final and closing thoughts on it?
I'd recommend everybody go check it out. I think Slash is a guitar hero. This
Oh, yeah.
really shows how broad, I guess, besides Guns N' Roses, Slash is not all Guns N' Roses. This really
Yeah, yeah.
shows
Yeah.
his guitar skill and how talented he really is.
And my thoughts on it, man, I thought it was a good album. I enjoyed it. You know, it's not something that, you know, I would obviously run out and buy or get. But, you know, if it comes along, I wouldn't turn it off or anything. You know, like I said there a while ago, but it ought to be, you know, it's a studio polished with all-star singers, all-star band, all-star, you know. So, of course, it should be.
It should be.
It should
Yeah.
be. So, I
One
mean,
song wasn't, but-
you know, but all in all, I mean,
Yeah.
the album is just a straightforward, power guitar, rock, blues album
More blues,
with
but,
all the all-star, you know. So, and it's the classic hits that we all have grown up on, like saying, you know, Kill on Floor and Papa Was a Rolling Stone. And, you know, they're just songs, The Pusher. It's every, you know, it's songs we
Yeah.
grew up on. And they've been played, you know, hundreds of times by thousands of different groups. And so in all, it was just,
I think all in all, it probably ended up being, by my points, it probably ended up being a 3.5 out of 5.
yeah, I gave it a 3.2 in total.
I never counted up my points and figured it out, but it probably ended up being, now, if you took off that one song, it probably would be a lot higher.
But the Iggy Pop one?
Yeah, that really anchored down
Yeah.
for
I
me.
mean,
And see, that's your,
I know,
my
that's
opinion, I actually kind of dug
Yeah,
that. I
yeah.
liked it. I mean, it wasn't
because,
like.
well, when I texted in the group chat about that song, and you was like, yeah, I dug it, I liked
Yeah.
it. And I was like, well, you're the only one then.
Yeah.
'cause I'm
Out
not
of the
gonna
three
talk
of
about
us,
it.
yeah.
But yeah,
And
I think
also have
all
a
in
little
all,
side for Iggy anyway, but.
and honestly, I probably would give it a little bit closer to a 4 out of 5 overall out of the whole album. I think it's a solid album.
Yeah, it's
and
solid. It's, you know what, you know.
It's not a, when you hear Slash, you're thinking, you know, Slash with Miles Kennedy or Slash with Guns N' Roses, and it's more Slash's kind of bluesy side of his playing, but probably more on the bluesier side altogether. And it's kind of different for him, but at the same time, it's him, but it's
Yeah.
a little different. But
Hey, and it looks like we'll keep it under 30 minutes, hopefully.
that's good.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like, we would like to have everybody put in the comment section if they
Their
want to
thoughts, what
review
they
an
thought,
album.
yeah, what you think of the songs. Let us know what your
Yeah,
all's
what's yours.
opinions. That's
Because-
that's why we do these.
You know, everybody does reaction videos.
Mm-hmm.
And we took the time and I enjoyed it.
I
mean,
like when we
Yeah.
do these.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
when we do these.
I mean, it's just, and that's what I'm saying, if we could get somebody to, you know, throw an album out at us, then
We'll,
we
we'll
ain't
probably,
going.
yeah, yeah,
So,
They don't
Anyway.
throw too many at them.
right.
yeah.
It takes a lot to do these things.
But I give Slash 2 thumbs
Yeah, I
up.
give it
I
a
think
thumbs up,
he,
yeah.
I think he did a good job.
Yeah, and like I said in the beginning of the video, I've been pushing it to other people that I thought might enjoy it. You know, hey, go check it out. I mean,
Yeah.
it's worth listening to.
Yeah, if you're our fan base, definitely go check it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are y'all rolling out
Yeah,
again?
you get
Let's
to
do
do
it.
the clicker.
Got
I
the
don't have to
clicker?
go trying to smack strings
I don't
ass.
have to. Yeah.
I gotta check us out on our socials. Till the next time, if you got it, and if you do got an album, just put it down below and we'll check it out.
Yep.
Till next time, anybody got anything to say?
Nope, love, love, hate, hate, man.
See y'all. Peace.
Peace.